So many students at MATC come here looking for a career change. If you've been looking to change careers or you're just getting started, stay tuned because today we'll deep dive into the resources at the MATC Career Hub. Speaking of vehicles for success, let's drive on down to the Automotive Program. All of this and more on MATC Now. Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles, and we're glad you joined us today. I am joined in the studio by my very special co-host, Omar Barberina, who is from the MATC Career Hub. Omar, thanks for taking time out of your day and being with us.
I'm happy to be here.
All right. Now, briefly tell us, what is it you do for us here on the campus?
Well, as an employment development specialist, the key role is actually to be able to help students not only present their talents that they have for employers, but also help them connect them with employers and get them ready not only before they graduate, but after they graduate with career readiness.
Excellent. Well, thanks for telling me, briefly about your role, and we're going to catch up with you here in a little bit. But I'm wondering if we can get an inside look at what you do. And to do that, we're going to check with our field correspondent, Jennifer Gregorich, down at the MATC Career Hub, and we'll find out.
Hey James, we're here in the S building on the first floor, and in just a bit we'll be taking a look at the Career Hub, a place that helps prepare students for their future and career. But for now, it's back to you in the studio.
We'll stop down again later to learn more. When finding a career, many people face challenges, particularly men of color. Student producer Hannah Stewart shows us how the MATC Men of Color Initiative is working to face those challenges. But first, we'll break a sweat with student producers Sam Bussey and Ethan Ramirez at the Run the Night race.
Milwaukee is host to countless running races all over the city for every distance. But all those races have one thing in common. You don't get to pick the route. The Run the Night race brings a refreshing, new take to Milwaukee's running scene.
So yeah, Run the Night, it's an alley cat style race, which means you can make your own route. Basically, we've got a start and a finish and a few places that you need to be, but at the end of the day, how you get to those places is up to you.
This isn't your typical race. Not only do you have to run as fast as you can to each destination, you'll also be tested on your navigation and problem-solving skills, because one wrong turn could mean running a lot farther than you have to.
Yes, this isn't your average 5K. There's no, short pickup or anything like that. The coolest thing is that you get to pick how you do this race. I mean, from what streets to run on to the route that you take. It's all up to you.
Before teams start running, they have to solve a clue to determine the location of each stop in the race. Solving the clue incorrectly means running to the wrong location. This year, the runners had to stop at the Bronze Fonz on the Riverwalk, make their way over to the Milwaukee Art Museum by the lake, and run past a local running store in the 3rd Ward.
Yeah, so the event is completely free. We wanted to give a chance for everyone to come and show it off. That's the benefit of doing an alley cat style race, is that we're not paying to close any roads off, so there's a lot less overhead.
The Run the Night race is open to any runner who is up for the challenge of navigating their way through the city of Milwaukee at night. The race starts and ends at Lakefront Brewery on the Riverwalk, but the rest is up to you to decide.
So this event is for anyone that wants to run through Milwaukee kind of at night. We're doing it in teams of 2, in part for safety.
Being a night race without a designated route, extra precautions are important to keeping each team of runners safe while they make their way through the city.
For safety reasons, we're having people run in teams of 2. They're going to have to wear either reflective and or lights, like flashing lights. And then 2, we've had them, when they signed up, agree to follow all the rules of the road, all the traffic laws as well.
The Run the Night race is a great way to explore the city in a fun and active way. And don't worry if you come without a teammate. They'll help you find one before the race.
You know, the whole reason that we started the events business was to unite the runners in Milwaukee and to make some fun events that aren't like anything else that you'll find.
This is a new event this year, but the race director has plans to keep the event going in the future with a new set of destinations for each race.
The hope is, if this goes well, that we'll keep doing this event. We've talked about even making it a summer and winter type event potentially. And I think half the fun is that we're switching up the stops. So I think going forward, we would probably keep picking different landmarks around Milwaukee.
Keep running and exploring the city, because who knows which Milwaukee landmarks the next Run the Night race will take you to.
Kyle Hayden is a man with many roles to tackle here at MATC, including the chair of the African American Network, which supports African American employees and students, as well as the assistant coach to the women's basketball team here at MATC.
As an advisor for the Promise program as well, and the Restart program, I basically help students that are in the program remain eligible in the program by checking in with them to make sure that they keep their GPAs at a minimum of 2.0. They're completing their course rates at a 67%. You know, the program is designed to support students that meet financial barriers that has been an issue for them in keeping them from graduating, and other things that come along with that. So that's my primary focus with them, is to just make sure that they have all the accommodations that they need to be supported and successful in the classroom.
I've seen them going above and beyond to help individuals academically as well as personally. So, I mean, I honestly couldn't even, begin to count the ways that he's helped, not just myself, but, other individuals that I've seen firsthand.
His colleagues have nothing but positive things to say about his leadership for the MATC community.
I support a program that is designed to help our men of color at our institution excel in their academics and systemically things that impact them outside the classroom as well. We hope that the individuals coming out of our programs will be those leaders that will be the change that we desire to see, that we want to see, and beyond. So we know that everyone's not going to stay here, but wherever their feet lead them, we're hoping that the things that we institute and instill within them is where they carry, what they carry to those respective places. And again, in hopes that they will improve not only their personal lives, but their families' lives and their communities, as well as their workplace. My time at MATC was much like the individuals who I'm serving right now. I was a young black male trying to figure out life. Having an opportunity to attend here was new. However, I still brought some of my old habits with me.
His first year at MATC wasn't perfect. He failed all of his classes and met with an advisor and ignored their support and failed again. He took the advice of his advisor and received a 4.0.
Have an honest conversation with yourself, first and foremost. I think the first step to turning things around is to give an accurate assessment for where you may be. If you're struggling, don't be ashamed. Speak up. Raise your hand, ask questions in the class. Understanding that that's the support that I needed made it a ton easier now that I've graduated from here. Proud graduate of MA. I bleed orange and blue. If it could happen for me, it could happen for you. And it was my ultimate opportunity to pay it forward.
Oh, that running looked exhausting.
It sure did, but it was cool to see young men finding a community for self-improvement.
Now, since we're talking about self-improvement, let's see what field correspondent Jennifer Gregorich has discovered down at the Career Hub. Jennifer.
Hey guys, as I mentioned earlier, we are here at the Career Hub, and we'll be meeting with a student ambassador and a career development coach. Right now, I'm here with student ambassador Victor. Victor, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jennifer. Thank you for coming to Career Hub.
That's great. What does a student ambassador do?
We are technically the first step of when people enter into Career Hub. What we provide are internships, finding a job, student employment if people are interested on taking on-job campus, CPLE, which is credits for prior learning and experience, and career coaches.
And what's your guys' process of finding where to put the students?
We previously ask questions like first name, last name, and student ID, what we can provide your service for, and they ask us the questions and we give them the answers for it.
Amazing.
Like technically what we're giving to you.
And what resources do you guys have available?
We have resources like Handshake, Student Handshake, Focus 2 if people are undecided or non-agreed.
Interesting. And do you guys have a career development coach?
Yes, we do. We currently have a career coach specialist named Ramirez. I can lead you to him.
Great, thank you.
Hello.
Thanks for talking with us, Victor.
Yep, you too, Jennifer.
Thanks. Hi, Maria.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking.
That's great. And what's the importance of having a bilingual
Although I serve everybody that comes through our doors, the importance of having a bilingual coach is to help the institution meet the goal of becoming a Hispanic serving institution. Also to make sure we have the career services available to our Latinx population.
Nice. And what resources do you guys have available?
Well, in terms of career coaching, we have assessments available that career coaches help students interpret just to tap into their personality types and help them find a career that aligns with who they are. We also offer services for program changers. Our CPLE office evaluates transcripts for transfer credit and life experience, military experience, and our student specialists work with students who are looking for an interview, a job, an internship. They need a mock interview or help with their resume, so they help them sharpen those skills.
That's amazing. And what makes the Career Hub so unique?
I believe the mix of employees that we have in all areas, we all care deeply about our students. We want to see them succeed and help them find their career journey and see them walk through that journey.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. And how would you set up a mock interview?
You will set up a mock interview by going into our website to the Career Hub webpage and search for the student employment specialist. Their booking links are there and they're divided by pathways.
That's amazing. And what's your goal for trying to help these students?
Whether it's career coaching, whether it's career coaching or whether it's employment, our goal is to help them find their path, to help them find something that really aligns with who they are.
Well, that's great. It seems like we're out of time, but thank you for speaking to us, Maria, and thank you to Victor for joining us. But for now, it's back to you in the studio.
All right, some good resources out there. Thanks so much, Jennifer. The Career Hub can help you in any career you plan on pursuing, from nursing to television to being an automotive technician. Now, if you have an interest in becoming an automotive technician, MATC might have the program for you. Student producers JC Griffith and Abigail E. Bean take us through the automotive program. But first, it's no surprise to anybody that social media is becoming largely integrated into the professional world. Student producer Blue Thompson highlights Carole Burns' role in content creation for Milwaukee PBS.
This is Carole Burns, the digital content manager here at Milwaukee PBS. The creative genius behind all the captivating visuals and engaging stories that you see online.
I take care of basically promoting the different shows and distributing the content that I receive from the different editors and producers.
She pays close attention to analytics and user feedback. By analyzing data and listening to what the audience wants, she continuously refines the content to ensure it resonates with them.
Probably my biggest challenge that I have is just the amount of digital content that's available and wrangling it and getting it set into the right format for the different audiences. You don't really want to just take one thing and plug it in to a platform and then put it across all the platforms. You need to think that, what is my Facebook audience going to want? What is my YouTube audience going to want? What kind of keywords are they looking for?
With an eye for detail and a passion for creativity, she brings life to the digital realm like no other. She knows the value of collaboration and often taps into the expertise of the students here to stay up to date on digital trends and ahead of the game.
You really are constantly trying to stay on top of all of the different software and platforms that are out there. And my best resource for that are the students here at MATC. They help me stay on top of the different trends. I obviously can't be on all of them at once, but I can find out from the students. So my hobby outside of Milwaukee PBS is photography and telling stories through photos. And by that, it's really more of the artwork of those photos. It's the time of day and the feeling that you get from it. A couple weeks ago, I went out and there's a whole mess of farm equipment by my house that's just sitting out there rusting to death. And I went out, the sun was setting just perfectly, and I made a whole mess of photos of just this farm equipment. And I'm not sure why, but it like spoke to me. It's like, it was almost like nature was reclaiming its space, but at the same time adapting to the fact that that tractor was there. So you could see like the tree roots going through it and stuff. And I just think that that's kind of cool. So that is one of the reasons I got into digital storytelling.
From selecting perfect images to creating eye-catching graphics, she strives to make content visually appealing and attention-grabbing, and is always on the lookout for new ideas and inspiration to keep content fresh and exciting.
Getting from place to place is an important part of everybody's day. But what do you do when your car breaks down? MATC's Automotive Program details how students can become problem solvers when it comes to car maintenance and repair. Head of the department, Scott Fissler, believes the program is a great opportunity for students to become well-rounded technicians and mechanics.
The jobs that students can get leaving our program, primarily they're being trained to be a technician, a turnkey technician that can go right into any automotive business and know what to do in an entry-level position. They can just walk in, they know what to do. But some of the students may not want to do that when they're done, and they can do parts department, they could do body shop, they could do service advising, they could do cashiering or other parts of the automotive world where having automotive knowledge like they get from us is a real benefit. You know, they could be very, very useful and it's a rewarding field. Any of those positions is very rewarding because it's all customer service, you know.
Students in the automotive program come from all sorts of backgrounds, often finding common ground in their found love for all things cars.
So when I bought my first car and I was driving it, I love driving. And then I only knew basic maintenance about my car, and as soon as I did my own oil change and other stuff like that, I wanted to learn more. I feel like I started to get really interested in my own car, and so that's kind of what started me to join this program.
My dad's a mechanic, so I wanted to join it. Like, I saw him working. Like, I wanted it to be my life too.
The automotive program is only 1 year long. However, that 1 year is full of many learning opportunities for students, from projects to shop days.
My favorite project was back in when I was in brakes and steering and suspension systems. We took apart struts, and that was really fun.
My favorite project was taking out engines, but that was a pretty big deal. And currently one is that we're working on a Commander, taking out transmission and all that stuff. So that's been a big project and a learning experience.
Favorite day of the week for the students is our hot rod day. We have a hot rod shop that after class, it's an after school function. It's completely voluntary, it's not mandatory. And they can bring their own cars in, they can bring their family cars in. And then there's myself and a couple other volunteer automotive industry people come down. And so we'll have extra mentors to help them with different projects, right? And that lasts for a couple hours. It's really been popular.
And a lot of our industry leaders have started visiting us on those days, because it's like informal, right? And they get to know the students get to know them, and it's a nice way to build relationships. And many jobs have been linked to, for the students, and careers have started from that interaction of industry and our hot rod times.
People in the community who cannot afford to have their cars inspected or fixed can visit the Automotive Program to receive a free inspection, quote, and prioritized list of fixes, which gives the students more practice with clients and adds to their program experience.
It is a lot, but it's because it's a one-year program, so as long as you stay dedicated, have good attendance, just keep working hard, you'll make it through.
Nowadays, finding a career you like can be as simple as a click. Programs such as Automotive Technician can gain traction from coverage just like this. Here to talk a little bit more about the Automotive Technician program is Success Coach Dr. Reggie Parks. Dr. Parks, can you explain, first of all, what is a Success Coach?
Sure. What I do as a Success Coach is support the students from the time they enter the program until even after graduation. So we reinforce and celebrate successes. We put our heads together and work through any type of academic, personal, or career challenges that may affect their time in the program.
Excellent. And what got you into this service industry, automotive?
I have a background as a mental health counselor, so I provided mental health services to very diverse populations, both public and private. I previously worked at colleges and universities, so that allowed me the opportunity to work here at Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Awesome.
Now, being a success coach, is that similar to being a counselor? Are those two different roles? Are they all one and the same?
It can be very similar, but ultimately every support service on campus is working together, regardless of the title, to ensure student success. If there's a way to support a situation, everybody will pitch in and do so that the students have the best student experience.
And what potential technology that you've seen lately that might increase your enrollment in this program?
Certainly, we recently purchased an electric vehicle, so the students are very excited about that, because certainly consistent with MATC's goals are preparing our students for the careers of today and tomorrow. So the students are able to look at what electric vehicle technology is, learn about it, learn how to operate the vehicle safely, and provide maintenance and service safely. So it's really been encouraging. It's really been exciting to see how they enjoy working with that new electric vehicle. And we already had hybrids, and we also had the traditional vehicles. So the students are getting the best experience possible with any and every type of vehicle.
Excellent.
All right. Now, being a success coach and being a counselor, how do students set their goals? Do you come up with the goals for them to set, or do they come up with their own goals, or is it a collaboration?
It's certainly best to always have the students create their own goals. That way the goals will be most meaningful to their academic, career, and personal goals. If they want help setting their goals, I'm certainly here to help. I reinforce the academic expectations and responsibilities, so that can be a part of that goal setting if the student chooses to. But we want the students to own their college experience and incorporate as much of their being as possible so it's meaningful and relevant to them.
And how different it is for you to be out of the classroom and being inside the shop with the students in the automotive industry?
You know, it's an amazing experience to get to see the students work on the vehicles, to see their successes, to see the things that they want to reinforce, and go over again, and just to ask questions of both their instructor and their peer students is absolutely fantastic. I grow as the students are growing, and overall it's simply amazing each and every day.
All right. And closing thoughts here, something we talked about earlier. Not just mechanics anymore, not just turning wrenches. This is a whole new world than your father's old Cadillac, or what your father turned wrenches out on in the garage there.
It absolutely is. Our students certainly know traditional vehicles, but again, they know hybrid vehicles, they know electric vehicles, they know the different type of CNG, compressed natural gas vehicles. There are so many different types, and our students are prepared for the present and the future through their training here at MATC.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you both, but I appreciate you both for joining me today and helping us dive into the automotive program.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, and Dr. Reggie?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you know who's the top banana in our kitchen? It's Chef Ailin, and she's going to be cooking up something sweet and appealing. Chef Ailin, what are you making?
Thank you. Hey guys, on this episode of MATC Now, we're going to make one of my favorite winter desserts, caramel banana pudding cups. I'm going to share with you another quick and easy dessert you can make in the dorms of MATC. Banana pudding cups are great for on the go and gatherings during the holidays. For this recipe, you'll need these ingredients: 1 box of vanilla wafers, 1.5 cup of milk, 1 box of vanilla pudding mix, a can of whipped cream, fresh bananas, 3 plastic pudding cups, a small container of caramel drizzle, and a frosting bag. First, make your pudding mix by stirring the pudding mix and milk together in a bowl in a blender. Luckily for us, I already prepped it in this bag right here. Next, we're gonna slice up our bananas, and we're gonna put it in a bowl and save those for our layering. I'm gonna toss that away because we don't need the peel. You're gonna cut these into circular rounds as so. And I like this little knife right here, it's so cute. Fun fact, a cluster of bananas is called a hand, consisting of 10 to 20 individual bananas, also known as fingers, which we already broke one off and cut it. We're gonna, oh, wrong container. We're gonna scoop these bananas into a bowl, set that aside, and we're gonna start our layering. We're gonna grab a wafer, placing it at the bottom, and grabbing a few more bananas, and adding it at the bottom. Next, you're gonna grab your pudding mix and fill those ends because you want it to look really full. You're just gonna continue that process all the way to the top of the cup. I'm gonna grab some more of this mix. Fill the corners. The key to make it look pretty is that you need to fill in the edges. It needs to look full. All right. Last layer. You're gonna squeeze all of it out. Now we're gonna grab some whipped cream. And you can add more or less to your liking. I like a lot of whipped cream. Now we're gonna grab some smashed up wafers that we have right here and just spread those on top. And it's okay to make a mess, you know. That's the fun part of being in the kitchen and cooking. Now we're gonna drizzle some caramel. Perfect. Now after this is all lovely layered, we're just gonna place it in the fridge for about an hour and a half. But we don't have to wait that long because I already prepped some. Now the reason we keep it in the fridge for an hour and a half is you get this amazing soft cookie crunch that you need for your banana pudding cups. And voila. Now this is the one I made earlier. This is not as good as these other two that I made, so we're just gonna circle that around. Putting whipped cream on top is not required if you're not a fan, neither are bananas or vanilla wafers, just in case you're allergic. But be adventurous and try chocolate or strawberries instead. You hold the power. Remember, the most important thing you create in what you make is what tastes good to you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Chef Ailin. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Ailin. I love banana puddings. Make sure you say some for us. Banana pudding can be a little messy, though. I hope I don't get it into my clothes.
While we're on the subject of clothing, student producer John Weimer takes a trip to Edessa Fashion School to learn about their classes.
Introducing Edessa School of Fashion, the hottest fashion institute in the Midwest. Nestled in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward, this up-and-coming fashion school is not just a place of learning, it's a launch pad for the next generation of style pioneers.
We have made the decision to have the 3rd Ward, the historic 3rd Ward, be our home. It is the most fashionable area in town, and it is where the students can get more inspiration. Right now we have a strong relationship with the Milwaukee Artist Resource Network, which is on Lower Broadway. It's a beautiful art gallery. It's inspiring to the students in that way. It also has a coffee shop and restaurant inside of the space and a marketplace. So the students are able to go into Marne and get inspiration. Every month or so, the exhibit changes, and so there's always new art to see, and the environment is enveloping with artistic and creative endeavors.
Edessa's fashion show is where the students' dreams are stitched into reality.
So Edessa tries to actively get into all these fashion shows, which gives students opportunities to show what they've learned. So that's like an amazing outlet for the students.
Well, my first couple weeks here, they had the fashion show, the Edessa fashion show, and they were like, you should try out and just go to the model call. And so I did, and then I was in the show. And that was super fun, I liked it a lot.
We transform a restaurant into a venue with a runway that runs clean out of the building onto the sidewalk. In our last show, it ran out of the building into the street. We've shut the street down. We've had major organizations participate with us.
That's a huge networking opportunity for them. Sometimes news people are there, there's people who are business owners that are there, there's buyers there, corporate people there. So that creates networking for the students to kind of branch out.
At Edessa, their small class sizes provide for an intimate learning atmosphere.
I think because it's so small, they're there all the time, and that is a huge support because they're able to just talk to you about whatever's going on.
What I love about my class is one student may have an idea that another student has never thought of. So she or he will ask, how would you make this? And another student would have never thought of it. But then after we kind of figure it out, they're like, oh, well, I never thought of that. So it gives them all these ideas. So my class dynamic is very we learn a lot from each other.
You know that your teacher's not grading 30 papers. They're grading 8. And therefore they can give just major attention to what you said in your paper.
Edessa doesn't discriminate and aims to stand amongst the top fashion schools in the country.
A lot of the colleges in Milwaukee, specifically for fashion design, does not allow men. So Edessa allows everybody. So that's, I think, the biggest part, because even when I was going to school, it was really, really hard finding a place that allows men to go practice fashion design.
We've given an opportunity for the Midwest to compete with the East Coast and the West Coast, where the designated fashion schools are. And it shouldn't require a student in Wisconsin to make a decision, do I go to New York or do I go to LA to study fashion, when they could study in their own area.
I love it because I feel like I'm learning so much, and so much that I've never learned before. I really didn't know anything about the industry. I knew about fashion, but not the technical part of it. And that's been the most amazing part about coming here, is I just feel like I am learning so much, and I love everything that I'm learning. And the teachers are amazing, and they're great, and they're kind, and everyone's so loving. It's just a really great community to be in, be a part of.
Cool to see what neighboring colleges are up to. It proves that you can stay close to home and still get a good education. Now I think it's time we see what James has for us with the MATC Minute.
Are you an artist? The Community Art Committee is recognizing students by displaying their art at all MATC campus locations. The 2024 request for proposal is now open for artists. Artists may submit their ideas for art to fill a variety of spaces. Applicants are welcome to apply before Sunday, January 14th at www.matc.edu/community. As a part of the ongoing remodeling of the downtown Milwaukee campus S building, the cafeteria will be closed from December 17th until January 16th, 2024. Don't worry, this will fall over break, but make sure you follow the signage if you plan on eating on campus. Want a voice in determining the next president of MATC? You're invited to attend input sessions as the district board begins making their selection. The schedule is available on My MATC. Come out and support the MATC women's basketball team tonight as they host Oakton College. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. with the tickets available at the door. Go Stormers!
Thanks, James, for the wrap up on the semester. What do you say we go back, students, producer Miranda McCulley, about the Ladybug building in this week's Gem KE?
Hi, I'm student producer Miranda McCauley, and this is another hidden Gem KE. I'm in downtown Milwaukee, where 3 giant ladybugs have been scaling the wall of an office building for over 20 years.
These large ladybugs were attached to this building in 1999 as an art installation inspired by a city beautification project in downtown Milwaukee. This installation was spearheaded by John J. Burke, the founder of the company that manages this office building. The ladybugs were designed by Burke's exact specifications, at 6 feet long and 3 feet deep. These ladybugs are made of fiberglass, which is both durable and lightweight. The creator, John Burke, chose ladybugs because he just enjoyed looking at them, and with hopes that pedestrians can enjoy them too.
I'm student producer Miranda McCauley, and this has been another hidden Gem KE.
After seeing this, I'll never drive by that building again without looking up those ladybugs. Before we close the show, I just want to thank our co-host and our guests for being with us here today and telling us about the Career Hub and the Automotive Program. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for tuning in on another episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles. Now, this was the last show of the fall semester, but don't worry. We'll see you in March for the return of the show. Take care. Happy New Year, everyone.